Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the ancient Greek alphabet. So the ancient Greek alphabet has 24 letters, as opposed to the 26 letters of the English alphabet. So I'm going to just start by going through all the different characters, and for each showing you guys how to draw each character, as well as giving you possibly some pronunciation tips. Okay, so the first one on our list is alpha. This is alpha. Imagine that's the line, it's just drawn over the page like that. Just do another one like that. It's pretty easy. And the equivalent in English is just the A. And this, I'll just draw in a different colour here. This can actually be short or long. So short or long. So when I mean short, it can be pronounced A. But when I say long, it can also be pronounced R. So that's an important piece of information there. Next, we have beta. So if this is our line, beta's like that. This is a consonant, and the equivalent is B. Okay. And by the way, I'm only doing the lowercase letters in this video, but I might cover the uppercase letters in a follow-up video. So after beta, we have gamma. This is gamma. So like with beta, part of the character is under the line, and the equivalent is G. After gamma, we have delta. Delta actually, oops, that's bad, sorry. Delta actually sits above the line, like that. Ooh, that's not so good, but kind of like that. Hopefully that gives you some idea of what delta looks like. And that is D. After delta, we have epsilon. So epsilon is another vowel, like alpha. Actually, I didn't say that, sorry. I'll just write here. That is a vowel. So yeah, so we've got epsilon. Epsilon is like this. A kind of reverse 3, if you like to think of it like that. And that is E. But importantly, this is a short E sound. A short E sound. So a kind of eh. Like in bet. A very short E sound. So after epsilon, we have zeta. So zeta looks like that. Actually, that's not so good. Zeta kind of looks like that. Doesn't come up so often. And the equivalent in English is a Z or a ZD. And importantly, zeta is actually a double consonant. So zeta is a double consonant, which means the English equivalent ZD is made up of 2 characters and not just one. So I mean, that's not such an important piece of information, but I just thought I'd tell you anyway. After zeta, we have eta. So, actually, sorry, that's a bit too close. Eta is another vowel, and it's another E sound. But since we've already had a short E sound, as you might be able to guess, eta is a long E sound. A long E sound, so an air sound. So I'll just write that here. Long. It's a long vowel. As opposed to a short vowel here. So a word with an air might be kind of hair, or air, that kind of air sound. So after eta, we have theta. Oops, wrong color. So we have theta. So this is theta. And theta the equivalent in English is a TH. So you might be thinking, okay, is that a double consonant? Well, no, actually it's not. It's what Greek calls, or actually no, not what Greek calls, but what we call a double consonant. So this is a double consonant. Ooh, sorry. What am I talking about? Sorry, sorry. Forget about what I just said. It's not a double consonant. It's an aspirated consonant. So it's a aspirated consonant, which means, so let me just rub this out, which basically means it's pronounced with a kind of breath of air, with a kind of H almost, so it's a th. It's yes, it's aspirated, which literally means breathed on. So yeah, so I'll just write that here. Aspirated consonant. Okay. So after that, after theta, we have iota, another vowel. Very easy to draw, just that. And it's just an E. That's the English equivalent. And it can be short or long. So, like alpha, this vowel sound can be short, or it can be long. So, short E sound would be bit, while long E sound would be police, for example. And I should say, before I continue, that the names of these different characters doesn't really matter. And actually, the order as well doesn't really matter. As long as you can identify each of the characters, as long as you can identify each of the characters, then you should really be fine. Okay, so after iota, we have kappa. So kappa is very easy to draw, just like that. A kind of curly K, I guess. That's how I like to think of it. And yes, I mean, it is the English equivalent is K. It's a consonant. That's very easy. Next, lambda. This is lambda. And the English equivalent is L. So we're rattling through these. Next, we have mu. This is mu. Mu is slightly odd. It looks like a U with one of the lines extended below the page line, and that is basically what it is. And the English equivalent is actually M, so it's pronounced M. Okay, after mu we have nu. So this is nu, it's literally just a V. And that is actually pronounced like an N in English, as in nut. So yeah, do not get confused there. After that, we have Ksai. So this is Ksai. It looks kind of like almost like an epsilon, but with a curly line below the page line. And the English equivalent is Ksa. So, like our old friend Zeta, this is another double consonant. And as I said, you don't really need to know that, but, I mean, if you can know it, why wouldn't you, eh? Okay. After Xi, we have Omicron. Omicron, I mean, I'm not going to bother to draw more than two because it is just an O. And it looks like an O. And it is an O. It's pronounced O. But this, okay, is a short O sound. Because as we're going to see, Greek has two O sounds, one short and one long. Just like it has two E sounds, one long, one short, one long. Okay, so after Omicron we have Pi. Oh my gosh, why do I keep drawing in red? After Omicron we have Pi. So I'm sure you've all seen this somewhere in another subject. Probably maths or physics. And the English equivalent is P. So it's pronounced P. Okay, so after pi we have rho. Oops. This is rho. You might think it looks like a P. And it kind of does, but it's much more slanted. Much more slanted. And the English equivalent is R. So it would be pronounced R. R. After that we have sigma. So there are two ways of drawing sigma. Either like that, or like that. Oops, sorry. Like that. Kind of like a 5. Or better, it would be that. Yeah. So you've got two ways of drawing it. Like that, or like that. And the difference between them is that this method of drawing it is when it's in the middle of a word. While this method of drawing it is used when it's at the end of a word. Okay? So after sigma, we have tau. This is tau. And the English equivalent is T, so it's pronounced T. After tau, we have upsilon. Upsilon is like that. And the English equivalent is A. But and this can be long or short. It's another one of these vowels that can be long or short. Long or short. So long would be something like actually I'm having trouble thinking. Like a kind of sound. While short would be kind of like a nut. Okay, after upsilon we have phi. Oh my gosh. We have phi. This is phi. It's kind of a circle with a line going through it. And the equivalent in English is ph. So, as you can guess, due to the H there, this is what's called an aspirated consonant. We've already gone through this. Basically just means it's breathed on. So it's a kind of ph. It's, yeah. After phi we have chi. Another aspirated consonant. Oops, sorry, I've just written it. Yeah, and the English equivalent is k, so it's pronounced k. So it's, yeah, again, aspirated. Write that in. Aspirated. Okay, so after the chi, we have psi. So psi looks quite like a kind of trident, or something along those lines. And the English equivalent is ps, so it's pronounced ps. And so, you're probably getting the hang of this now. This is therefore called a double consonant. We've already had a few of these. Oops, if I can spell consonant right. And yeah, okay. So, the last one we have is the last letter of the Greek alphabet is omega. Looks kind of like a curly W, and it is an O. But I know what you're thinking. Okay, didn't we just have O? Well, yes, we did, but this is a long O. So omicron, which we've already had as a short O, this is a long O. So it's a long vowel sound. So it would be pronounced kind of or, as in saw, in the English word saw. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you stay tuned for more videos.